GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Well, for the next hour, by the way, we're live at prisonplanet.tv, simulcasting the last 2 hours of the 4-hour show today. We are joined by John Perkins, best-selling, New York Times #1 best-selling, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. He's got his Part 2 vaunted Hoodwinked about to come out in the next few months, already on pre-sale, I'm told. Guaranteed to be another bestseller, probably #1 again. And by the way, he is in my upcoming film, Fall the Republic. So we're going to be, and that's a film all about the economy and what these big corporate interests are doing. It's bipartisan, looking at how both parties are controlled by the same interest. So we're honored to have him with us for the next hour. Coming up in 30 minutes, we're going to open the phone specifically on Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Most people know who John is, but it's always best maybe to have him just briefly recap what he did and then why he woke up and changed direction. Mr. Perkins, great to have you here with us.
Great to be with you, Alex. Thanks for having me on. Incidentally, I really enjoyed talking with your film crew. You've got a great group of people.
They are good guys. Yeah, I think I sent Aaron Dykes and Rob Dew out to see you out in Florida.
Yeah, they're fantastic. They're really good interviewers. You're gonna have a heck of a film.
Oh, it looks great too. You're great shot out your back window of the bay there. Just wonderful. But plus, you're a great interview to do. You're even better in person than over the radio, which is hard to believe. You're a smooth operator, John Perkins. It's almost like you're an economic hitman.
Well, we're really good at patting each other's backs, aren't we, Alex?
No, but it did go well. It did go well.
Yeah.
And that is exciting. Nutshell, tell folks about yourself and get into Hoodwinked.
Well, I was an economic hitman, and I think it's fair to say that we economic hitmen have created the world's first truly global empire. And we've done it primarily without the military. First time in history that's happened. And we work many ways, but the most common is that we identify a third world country that has resources our corporations covet. Then we basically convince, bribe, coerce the leaders of those countries into accepting loans to build big infrastructure projects. But the money doesn't go to those countries. Instead, it goes to our own companies that build those projects, like hydro dams and highways and airports, things that help a few very rich people in those countries, but don't help the majority of the people who don't have enough money to buy electricity or drive cars on the highways or work in the industrial parks or benefit from them. But the country's left holding a huge debt that it can't repay. So at some point we go back and say, you owe us all this money. You can't repay it, so give us a pound of flesh. Sell your oil real cheap to our oil companies. Or vote with us on the next critical United Nations vote. Send troops in support of ours to someplace like Iraq. And when we fail, I talk in my books about how I failed with Jaime Roldos, president of Ecuador, and Omar Torrijos of Panama. When we fail, the jackals go in. And these are CIA-sponsored people who overthrow governments or assassinate their leaders. Both Roldos and Torrijos were assassinated because I failed. And in this way, we've really created the world's first truly global empire. Now, what's interesting, and what I talk a lot about in Hoodwinked, is that we were so successful at doing this in the third world that now it's come back, and the economic hitmen have come home to roost. These same techniques are being implemented here in the United States, as well as throughout the rest of the world. And it's one of the reasons that we're having this tremendous recession that we're undergoing today, this huge economic tsunami that's hit us. It's really a consequence of these policies that we've been implementing for the last several decades.
We're going to go to break. When we come back, long segment coming up. Let's get into Hoodwinked, which is in many ways a different book than Confessions of an Economic Hitman. I was in an airport in L.A. and saw this bookstore full of people with two people grabbing and buying the books up. I was watching the stack of Economic Hitman go down just in 20 seconds while I was looking at a magazine. So really exciting that your book has had such success, because when I can physically see people, buying it off the shelf in front of me in seconds, it just must be amazing. When we come back, we'll talk about Hoodwinked, probably going to be even bigger, with John Perkins and his take on the Blackwater revelations, how that ties into CIA hit teams, the Jackals, and a lot more. The illusion.